Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. You can find yourself trying to figure out why in the world boxing fans would turn on a fighter. Now, what I'll say is this. First, like and subscribe, become a member, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, leave a donation for the fried rice and chicken wings. The weekend's almost here, and I could use that. Now listen, I understand Gervonta Davis has received a lot of flack, even being called a coward for stipulated rehydration clauses, catch weights, which I don't understand the reason anyway, because I think Gervonta would have beat everybody he fought the way he did outside of Lamont Roach. Now, Manny Pacquiao had a couple catch weights. David Lemieux had 17 catch weights, for those y'all who didn't know. But I've never seen the level of like anger and hatred directed towards a fighter the way it's being directed towards Gervonta Davis. Now, this is the thing. What did Tank do that was so horrible that would make boxing fans who were avid Tank supporters come out here and call him a bum, call him a tomato can? I don't understand. I mean, what happened with Tank and Lamont Roach? I mean, it happens. It's like I always said that, the best fighter doesn't win the fight. It's the boxer who fights the best. So Lamont Roach had a very, very good night. But man, when you listen to these guys come out here, you would swear that maybe Tank went in the fight with Lamont Roach, and Tank showed up weighing, 160 pounds or something, like Arturo Gatti did against Joey Gamache, and Lamont Roach weighed 140 maybe, like Gamache weighed against Gatti, and then Tank viciously takes his head off the way Gatti did Gamache. That's not what happened here. All Tank did was get in there and, meet his match. But I at this point, man, I don't know what to say, man. But some people feel that Tank's never really fought anybody. Now he's finally faced somebody. And he probably doesn't intend to face anybody who can fight him back the way Lamont Roach did again because of how the fight went. I'll be honest with you, watching that fight and rewatching it, Tank was trying. Tank was really trying to put a dent in Lamont Roach. And I do believe he dented him several times. But Lamont Roach, he made a decision before he got in that ring, and in each and every round, he made a decision to not quit, to not get knocked out, to not take a step back, to not give Tank the upper hand. He said, no matter what this man hits me with, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to fight. And we've talked about already. It's just like when Mosley fought Margarito. That was going to be a fight that Margarito just wasn't going to win. Anyway, for Gervonta Davis next. I mean, for those who are saying he never intended on fighting anybody with skill, now he tried to cherry pick. The cherry pick went wrong. Well, now he's got to rematch him. Now we're going to see he surely has no intentions on fighting somebody who can fight him. In my opinion, I think Gervonta Davis has an obligation to rematch Lamont Roach. But he shouldn't rematch him to make the fans happy. He should rematch him because if he really believes that he's that good, and he was talking all that stuff about having fought Floyd Mayweather, let me tell you something. People need to stop this bullshit about, I would have loved to have fought Floyd Mayweather. I think I could have beat Floyd Mayweather. Stop. They need to kill that noise. Floyd Mayweather fought all kind of styles, multiple weight divisions, 5 weight divisions, man. This man fought punchers, he fought boxers, he fought brawlers, he fought dirty fighters, he fought everything, any and everyone you can think of. All kind of styles. Multiple champions. But if Gervonta really felt he was that great, and he should still feel that way. I mean, it's just because he got in a competitive fight doesn't mean, you should come out here and become discouraged and decide to quit the sport. But if he felt he was so good that he could have beat Mayweather in his prime, he should surely come out here and rematch Roach. Now, what I will say is, he shouldn't do it for fans. He should do it because he believes he's the better fighter. Because this is why I've always said, hey, it would be nice to see Tank fight at 140, 147, because he has the kind of talent and speed and power where you figure he'd be able to bubble up there and get some wins. But I also said, me being a guy who, at the time I was 48, 49, I'm about to be 50 in May. I also said that me at 49, my mentality is different from being when I was in my 20s. I believe he should get all the money he can with the least amount of risk. When people are out here investing, in order to really make a handsome return on your investment, sometimes you got to take a little more risk. And that can work out great for you, or it could have you a little miserable. But the bottom line is you got to ride the wave, and eventually things can start to recover. But when you're like a guy like Tank who's able to get the handsome return with a little bit amount of risk, right? Little to no risk in most of his fights, I don't see anything being wrong with that because you're stacking up your money. Just imagine, right? And don't get me wrong, I do want to see the best fight the best. But I also look at things through I see it through two lenses. One is a boxing fan, one is a 49-year-old who had a full career, who's got his shit together. And if I could have done some things that I did up to this point, if I could have done it in my 20s, hell, I would have done it. And I was doing it. So when I watch Tank, I agree. But imagine if Tank was out here taking very, very risky fights, which every fight is risky. But I'm talking about going and fighting a Keith Thurman and shit like that at 147. Back when he was only like maybe 15 fights in. That is considered high risk. Very high reward, return on the investment, but extremely high risk at the time. Tank probably would have never got to the position that he's in right now. Or he's able to make the kind of money he's making and have the kind of following that he has. So there's some intelligence behind how they move these fighters. But that's a good example of why I think fighters shouldn't always worry about what the fans think about them. Because they're not the ones, if shit go left, that's going to take care of your family. But at this point that we're at with Gervonta Davis, fans are just, they just look at him now and he's become a meme. The taking a knee thing, that did not help him. The shit talking about grease in his eye, that did not help him. The fact that Lamont Roach is out here and, he's like a comet right now. He's still going. Shooting all over the place. Lighting up the sky. And he's like, yeah, I already signed my deal. I want the rematch. But I'll tell you what's going to happen is Lamont Roach he may not get that Tank rematch. Even though Tank supposedly activated his rematch clause. I just think there would be more talking about it. But Lamont Roach is going to go a different direction. Because he's going to have to. But if Tank doesn't fight him, he'll forever be known as the guy to put duck sauce on the fried rice. You know what I'm saying? That fight warranted a rematch. And again, I said in another video, I'm going to say it again. If he felt he could have beat Floyd Mayweather, if he feels he's anywhere remotely close to Floyd as a fighter, the rematch should have been announced within like a couple of days of having a draw. He should have said it in the ring that night. He should have said it. Floyd didn't play that crap. But anyway, I want to see how his next move is going to be. I tell you what, if he gets a knockout, the fans will love him again. But if he comes out there and it's in another competitive fight, they're going to basically say that he's washed up. They're not going to give, and the sad thing about it, they're not giving Lamont Roach. Some of these fans aren't giving Lamont Roach the credit he deserves as a fighter. They're not giving him the credit. Anyway, man, let's see how this goes, because there was a point in time with Gervonta Davis, by his team, by the fans, he was really labeled as the top young gun out there. From 130 to 147, that many people said even up at 147 they felt he would beat everybody. But for definitely 130 to 135, 140, he was supposed to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? But now, I don't know if people really want to compare him with the Mayweathers, the De La Hoyas, the Shane Mosleys, the Miguel Cottos, the Trinidads. I don't know if they want to have him part of that conversation anymore. But, we'll see. Because Gervonta Davis has said forever, this fighter's trash, this fighter's trash. I'll beat this fighter. Let's put the pen to paper and let's make it happen. But then you find out that when he does put the pen to paper, he understands he's the A side, and then all of a sudden now you got a bunch of conditions and demands, which many fans feel that made the fights easier for Tank. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. Boxing fans don't have many nice things to say about Gervonta Davis. There's still a few diehard Davis fans out there that no matter what, they're going to support him. And I mean, it's cool. But for me, I don't get caught up in all the hoopla. I like to talk about it and kind of what people are saying because I think it's interesting. Some of it's funny. But one thing I will say, and this is my opinion, my perspective, I think Gervonta Davis has a moral obligation to rematch that man, to rematch him. If not, could be a problem. Now, for the individual out there, somebody said that that Gervonta Davis will. Oh, that's what they said. Gervonta Davis, right now, would go into the Hall of Fame if they had him and Crawford next to each other right now, both retired right now. They said Gervonta Davis gets into the Hall of Fame before Terrence Crawford, right now, based off of how they performed in the ring and all of their accolades. To that I say, in the most respectful way, to hold your horses and let's not take it to the stupid. Gervonta hasn't accomplished what Terrence Crawford's accomplished. So let's stop right there. And if there was a situation, which we're just talking, right? We know shit ain't gonna happen. Well, if they came up tomorrow, we have to pick one of y'all to go in the Hall of Fame based on what you accomplished in boxing, how you performed in that ring against all your opponents. Let's be real. Who's going into that Hall of Fame? Put it to you this way. It's not Gervonta Davis. It's damn Terrence Crawford. Gervonta's got some work to do. And hopefully he gets to work. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.